tinga hiyo. Fuata Joshua ufike Kanani. Wasikiza sawa?
Lakini Joshua,
yes.
Hata tukienda Kanani sahi, si mfalme Uhuru ashafika.
The Federation of Kenya Employers FKE invites you to the 3rd Employer of the Year Awards, Air and Gala Dinner at the Radisson Blu, Upper Hill, Nairobi on Friday, 20th September 2019 from 6 p.m.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Time for Health Diary. My name is Gladys, Gachanja, and we're coming to you from the Emory Hotel here in Nairobi. Now, the other day we were taking a walk with my son, and there was this man with vitiligo and his daughters. Now, my son is 6 years old. What is trying as much as a realize most of us do not understand this condition as much as just that 6-year-old. That's why today we take time to understand what vitiligo is and the kind of stigma or life that those living with this condition have to face. But before we get to it, here now is a fact of the matter. Vitiligo is a disease of color. It occurs when the cells that produce melanin die or stop functioning. It can affect the skin on any part of your body, including the hair and the side of the mouth. Vitiligo can affect all and sundry and has no cure. However, treatment for vitiligo may restore color to the affected skin, but it does not prevent continued loss of skin color or a recurrence.
My name is Jacqueline Wanjiro. I'm 24 years old. I'm a vitiligo victim. Yeah, I have lived with it for 15 years now. It started as a small patch on the neck. Then it spread with time. At first I thought I was the only one because everywhere I went people would look at me weirdly. They would start me say things like I've been cursed, I should go do sacrifices, go through traditions, yeah, things like that. I used to go for phototherapy in Kenyatta and it just stopped spreading. I used to feel bad long ago, but I started accepting it. You know, when you accept it, people will accept you too. It's been tough sometimes. Yeah, if a kid looks at you and says, "Oh no, you feel bad, you know." But I've learned to control that. I'm happy. I love my pattern. They are very beautiful. My pattern is general. It's common to girls. Yeah. I don't know why. I really don't know why. We are only allergic to sun, where we are given sunscreens when we meet with our group. Yeah, it helps us not to get the sunburns, because when you get too much sunburns, you get a skin cancer, which is so expensive to treat too.
Yes, the conversation today is vitiligo as we try to understand it. Dr. Evans Kamuri, who is a dermatologist, and Felix Owing, who is living with the condition. And I'll start with you, Dr. Vitiligo occurs when the cells that produce melanin die or stop functioning. So what causes that in the first place?
Well, the first thing, nobody knows why that happens. But what we know, it's an autoimmune. We call it an autoimmune reaction. destruction. What do I mean? Your body naturally produces some cells to protect you from germs, from bacteria, virus, and such things. They protect you from everything. So occasionally, the body will produce some cells by itself to protect when it has noticed that some of its own cells are foreign or they are enemies. So for vitiligo, the body just starts producing some cells which think that the cell that gives skin its color, what we call the melanocyte, is enemy, and it starts crushing those cells. Why it would happen to you and not the other person, nobody knows. Why it would happen to some area and not other areas, nobody knows. But there is a tendency, there are some people who it happens genetically. You are genetically predisposed to the same, so that if your father had vitiligo, the chances of you having vitiligo are high. 2, there are people who have other associated autoimmune diseases. People with diabetes, people with lupus, people with thyroid problems. You will also notice that some of those people will have vitiligo.
Okay, so for Felix, do you have vitiligo in your family?
No, there is no one who has vitiligo in my family, just me.
You're the first one.
I'm the only one who has it in my family.
And when did it start showing?
Mine started in around 28. It started on my lips. Yeah, and it stayed on my lips for a very long time. Then this spot came, it stayed here. Then it just started to spread all over my body. Yeah.
Okay, now Daktari, there are different types depending on how the patches or the blotches are spread out. What are these types?
There is what we call solitary vitiligo, where you only see it one place. There is what we call acro vitiligo. Acro means most of the time you either find it on the lips, the proximal, the distal part of the hands, and the distal part of the legs. You can also have what we call genital vitiligo. Most of the children will get it, what we call genitalia vitiligo, or vitiligo that affects the genital areas. And mothers come very worried. Others will have accused people that the child has been maybe molested of whichever nature. But genital vitiligo is also very common. But there is also that what we call now the generalized vitiligo, where the whole body is involved. The only bit that are remaining is very few that has the color. Then we have what we call sporadic. It's not generalized, it's not solitary, it's just in between. But there is also the type of vitiligo we call complete vitiligo and partial vitiligo. Partial vitiligo means you can see the patch is light but not complete. But there is the other one that is complete, like the one of Owen here. That is complete vitiligo. Even when we start treating again, you will notice some areas become now like partial, and then the color comes back.
Okay, so for Felix, you said 2008 is when you first saw the signs. How old were you?
I was around 10.
10.
Yeah, around 10, 9.
What was the reaction from your parents?
It was just like normal, like what's happening to your lips. I visited so many hospitals, it was just on my lips. Like there was no doctor who was able to diagnose like what's this on your lips. So I used to use creams, and when this spot came, that's when I became curious. Like I just like with the technology, I just went to Google. I started googling things like.
Although public domain was also not a thing. But now everybody, in fact, I'm sure even when in school, everybody knows he has vitiligo. That's why part of what you are doing, which is very good, is actually public awareness. People to know that This is vitiligo. Initially, most people used to think every time they see you like this, it's cancer. It is HIV. And you see people greeting you. They want to greet you. They don't want, those ones of, could I get it? Could I not get it?
Okay, before we take the break, tell us, how has the stigma been?
Like, it's so hard. It's so hard. It takes a tough skin to live with vitiligo. Like, people out there see you like you are a curse. Like you're just not a normal person. People doesn't want to associate with you. They keep you off. People should just get to know like what's vitiligo. Yeah, even in matatus, when you sit in a seat, there is a seat which is empty. Someone will not sit there. Like even if the matatu is full, they will not sit there. Like they fear.
They think it's contagious.
Contagious, which is vitiligo is not contagious.
Wow. On that note, I shall hold your hand as we take this break, and when we come back, more vitiligo with Dr. Kamuri. Stay with us.
Yeah.
Why aren't you wearing the ring? 2 is company.
I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about this.
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Does it mean mtu asipokuwa na mtoto haizi contribute to the agenda? Is that it?
Unajua ni vitu ngapi nataka kwa maisha yangu na sijaipata?
Ai! Unga chapati ni 100. Chapati moja nyinyi mnauza 100. Kivipi?
Kwa nini unaniambia ni nyamazi?
Bwanangu amelala juu. Na akikusikia mke hatafurahia.
I have 12 wives kama politician ameiba.
What do you want, Awiti? An education so that you can have a better job.
Tumekuita hapa kukuja kutuexplainia ni nini lifanyika kwa gate.
I have an office to run.
Michi acha kuwa hivyo.
Umetoka wapi na please don't lie to me.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, unataka kumaanisha tutashinda hapa?
Hii gate imeongeza weight.
Hapo ndio ulikuja kutafuta mtoto? Hapana.
Ndugu yangu hapa Alwale, watu walisema kwamba yeye ni kipofu, ati haoni akitoka NASA. Tangu tumpeza macho, si mumeona?
Mimi nachukua na peka yote kwa typing kwa kompyuta. Unajua kompyuta?
Mimi najua tu charanga.
Unajua wakale kwa runway wakasema ladies and gentlemen introducing Jepto.
Gazeti liloboreshwa la Mwanaspoti linakuletea mengi ya kufurahisha macho na moyo. Kwa taarifa zote za soka, riadha za kusisimua, burudani za kitaifa na kimataifa ambazo zitakukonga moyo, bila kusahau vuvumio na usasa katika fasheni na ulimwende. Yote haya katika toleo jipya liloboreshwa la gazeti la Mwanaspoti
utakalopata kila Jumanne na Jumamosi na sasa la Alhamisi
kwa shilingi 35 tu. Pata toleo lako sasa.
Today, demand for fresh fruits and vegetables around the world has never been higher. So what does it take a farmer to break into the export markets?
The biggest African trade agreement was signed here in Niger. But what does this open trade between fortified countries mean for the entrepreneurs here?
I'm here in Lagos to find out from some women entrepreneurs how they are helping to keep Lagosians' welfare amidst the hustle and bustle of the city.
and tough quality textured coating gives your walls a tough and beautiful finish. Available in over 6,000 shades, it hides surface imperfections. Call us on 0709 887 000 to place your order. Crown. If you like it, crown it.
This is NTV.
Hujambo mtazamaji, karibu hizi ni baadhi ya taarifa tunazoia mwendo saa 1 kamili. Natumai Jumapili yako inaendelea vyema.
Kwa ofisi yangu kumejaa CV ya vijana wa Kenya ambao hawana kazi. Na wameniambia kama kuna kubadilisha katiba, kutafuta kazi, kwanza tutafutie vijana wa Murang'a na wa Kirinyaga kazi.
Kambi ya Ruto yaahidi kubwaga mswada wa marekebisho ya katiba. Sosiona katafuta afueni mahakamani kutokana na tishio la kubanduliwa NAT. Zaidi ya maafisa 200 wa misitu wafika Mau katika juhudi za kuokoa msitu wa Mau. Na Starlets wafuzu kwa raundi ya 3 ya kuwania tikiti ya Olimpiki baada ya kushinda Malawi. Na mtazamaji, kwa taarifa hizo na zingine usikose kuungana nami mwendo wa saa 1 kamili kwenye NTV jioni.
This week on the She Word,
I have a really good relationship with my house help.
I've had several nannies.
If there's something I count as a blessing, it's the nanny I have now.
We discussed the role played by domestic workers.
She's the one that enables us to get out of the home, do what we love, and to provide for our families.
When you have a good one, you know you have a good one, and you treat them like your child.
Yes.
However, rogue nannies.
Some of them are from frustrated homes. The frustration that took them out of their home may continue in my own house.
Join the conversation.
My nanny can actually access my ATM.
Hashtag the She Word on the BBC.
Health is a human right, and science facilitates the enjoyment of that right. Vaccination is an pilot in the
inheritance.
Exposure to blushing. So if I am predisposed to it and probably use more sunscreen than the next person, would I delay or thwart the blotching?
Well, vitiligo, if it is to come, it will still come, whether you are using sunscreen or not. The sunscreen, the reason why we advocate for sunscreen is not because of vitiligo. We worry of the sun because of the long-term effects of the sun. And one of the long-term effects of the sun is aging. If there was no sun, all of us would have baby's skin, if you know what I mean, baby's skin. But because of the effect of the sun, we have the aging process. 2, we will have a similar color. If there was no sun, all of us would be having an even color. So that's why I'm saying the sun, we also get worried because of cancers. Cancers of the skin actually come because of the effect of the sun.
Okay, so some of the other things that come with vitiligo are the white eyelashes or eyebrows or even the graying of the hair. Now I see a little bit on your brows but not on your lashes. When did that start happening? Immediately, or it has gradually come?
It has gradually come.
What's the gradual progress of vitiligo?
Okay, they are what we call innocent vitiligo. Like for him, we would classify it as innocent vitiligo. This is vitiligo that can occur at any age. This one, you will see it in children. But if you see vitiligo happening when you are 50, 60 years, we don't call it innocent vitiligo, because it could be vitiligo that is telling you something else. And this something else, it could be, you could be developing cancer or another system in the body that is now triggering when the body is now trying to fight that red herring problem, then it hits the color of the cells of the skin color, then you get vitiligo. So when we see you around 50, 60 and you're developing vitiligo, we first screen you for any form of malignancy or any form of cancer, and we also screen you for all other autoimmune diseases. We screen you for lupus, we screen you for diabetes, we screen you for thyroid issues. So when we see it old, we get worried.
Okay, so what treatment are you on?
Right now, I'm not on any treatment. I gave up. I was advised to go for vitiligo grafting, but I saw like there is no need. I should just accept myself. By the way, if you have vitiligo, you should just accept yourself and move on, because you will try so many, but they will not work. Even the traditional ones, they don't work. The spot might go off, but it will definitely come back again.
The most difficult type of vitiligo and the most resistant to treatment is the acro. The one I was telling you, the acro, the ones that involve the hands, the feet, the lips, it's very difficult. But the other types of vitiligo, especially if you have vitiligo near where there is hair, it is the easiest to treat, because the hair follicle, and even when we start treating, when we know the vitiligo is disappearing, we see colors forming near the hair. In fact, the hair starts at the dark color starts at the hair follicle, just near where the hair shoots out. There are a number of treatment options. One, there are medicines. There are medicines that tries to prime that process. Two, there are medicines which stops that autoimmune. You know that autoimmune, it means your immunity is exaggeratedly happy to do something, you know, like you are just doing self-mutilation. So there are some drugs we give to cool down that immunity, but that works when it's an acute vitiligo. Like when you discover now I'm developing vitiligo like this month or last month, that means it's an active vitiligo. That one can respond. Two, there are some drugs we apply. We apply so that we try to prime the color to form from where we are using, where the color has gotten lost. That's two. Three, there are drugs we also apply so that when you go out, the sun hits you so hard such that your skin now starts responding, so that you try to trigger the process of making new cells, as in we are burning you. The other thing is there is what we do, phototherapy. We expose you to irradiation, which is safe, and now where you are burning, it primes the color, the cells to start forming. And lastly, there is surgical. What he was being told. Surgical, you literally do grafting. You cut where there is skin, you put another one. Currently, the most modern now, we are actually doing plasma generating cells.
You would know. Health.
Because that vitiligo. Yeah. Now, those are the ones I would expect somebody would confuse. And one of them is what we call pityriasis vesicular. There is, in Mombasa, we call it umba. There is this fungal infection. People get patches uko, especially it's in hot areas. There is something we call pityriasis alba, which is a precursor of eczema in children. If you see it again, you will see a child with a patch. There are some infections that can actually cause that. So what I'm saying is that when you see, first look, ask, examine, then you should know that this is vitiligo. If you are in doubt, always send that person to another physician or a dermatologist, whichever part of the world.
So as we wind up, those vitiligo.
That and people all ask for advice from the right person, wherever you are. For people who have conditions like this one, as Owini has said, it's not infectious, it's not contagious, please embrace them. Let's not have this stigma that people always have, so that sometimes we put stigma in some things and it pushes many people backward. Everybody is important, and it's good to know that all of us are fearfully and wonderfully made or created.
Very well said. Well, the conversation has been vitiligo, Dr. Evans Kamuri, who is a dermatologist, and of course Felix Owing, who is living with vitiligo. Time now for a health tip.
The first thing is you have to have a very nice chair. Is not have what there is no is that ensure that you don't, and that will also ensure that you don't tire your shoulders as you continue with your working area.
A very informative episode today as we learned about vitiligo, and of course yet another episode coming your way next time. My name is Gladys Gachanja. Keep your suggestions and your comments coming through on our social media handles. This is the Emory Hotel. Until next time, see you.